To begin our outer space landscape, we are going to do two different paintings today. So one of them will be on white paper. Make sure you get your name on the back of that paper. And you are going to be experimenting today with different kinds of painting techniques. We want this first painting to be full of color and to have some texture. So I am going to use a lot of different colors, and I'm going to try some different techniques that we've done since we were in kindergarten. So right now I'm just painting yellow. What would happen if I just added more water to that area? Not too much. It's spreading a little bit nicer. So we know that colors that are next to each other on the color wheel are going to mix really nicely together. So yellow and orange are together. So I'm just painting, and I might overlap some of those colors. I might see what happens if I add some water on them. So coming around the color wheel, we have yellow, orange, and I know red will mix nicely with them. So what if that red, I do a little bit of splattering, making sure my brush is staying really close to the table. I don't want to be getting anybody next to me. And there are also some water squirt bottles around the room. What happens if I add just water to that? So I'm being gentle with it so I don't spray my neighbors, but those colors really start to blend nicely. I'm going to move to an area not touching that, and it's pretty wet over here. So that blue is going on my paper really nicely. I'm going to see what happens if I mix a little bit of green right on top of that. Yep, yellow and green look really nice together because they're next to each other on the color wheel. I just want to be careful when I put colors next to each other that are far apart on the color wheel. So orange and green are pretty far apart. I'm not taking them and blending them everywhere because I'm going to end up with a brown. And the point of this painting is to get a lot of color. So I'm adding a little bit of water, not too much, because I also know that I could rip my paper. I know that purple and yellow will probably make brown because they're far apart. So you want to try to fill this paper today with lots of color. Use water, use mixing, use different things that we've learned about since kindergarten. When you are done and this paper is full of color, not too much brown, you are going to end up putting a piece of saran wrap over it. So this is the stuff you would see in your kitchen. So I know I'm not completely done, but for this video, I'm going to put this plastic saran wrap on top. It might move some of the color around. That blue moved, but I want to try to move this plastic around a little bit to see some of the textures. And when I am done kind of just putting it in here, you can kind of swirl it. You don't want to rip a hole in it. This entire thing is going to go in the drying rack, face down. So the plastic wrap, try to get that at the bottom. Once that is in the back, in the drying rack, you're going to head to the station with the black paper. On that black paper, you need to get your name. Hard to see, but you will see it when you're writing it close up. And on this black paper, we're going to create some splatter paint with white to make it look like stars in the night sky. So we have toothbrushes at this station. I don't want gobs of paint on here because it will drip. So I'm rubbing it on the side of the cup. And when I splatter paint, my brush is angled down so it's not up going at somebody. And I'm holding it with my right hand. I'm right-handed. And my thumb is going to rub towards me. You can add as much or as little splatter to your black paper as you'd like. I am moving my arm around trying to get them everywhere. When I get more paint, I rub it on the edge. If you are somebody that gets a big drop or a blob of white, we will be able to cover that up, like that one, next week when we are collaging our outer space project. If you like that, it could just be a bright star in the sky. I got another one there, no biggie. So when I'm done, I'm just going to make sure that this toothbrush is on the cup so it doesn't get paint everywhere. This white, or this black and white, is also going to go in the drying rack, And then you are responsible for cleaning up messes at any spot you worked at today.